Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well today. Okay guys, I'm filming this at 10 a.m. November 11th, 2025. So you guys are going to be watching this just a couple hours after I video it. I was going to video this yesterday, but I ended up spending the entire afternoon working on the exhaust of my truck. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but my face is very sunburnt. And that is because I thought it was a good idea to use the handy little welding goggles that I have instead of like a full welding mask. And I'm paying the price for that today. So my sunburn is not because I had glorious weather in Florida, even though the weather there was beautiful. I did a good job at avoiding the sun. Just to come home and in the freezing winter weather, get a sunburn welding my truck exhaust. So that is Angel in a nutshell, I guess. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to come on real quick for 5 minutes and wish you all a meaningful Veterans or Remembrance Day wherever it is you may be. The title of the day might be different. If you're in a Commonwealth country, we call it Remembrance Day. In the United States, it's known as Veterans Day. But both these days actually stem from the same day, which is known as Armistice Day, which was a day to commemorate the end of the First World War. And then in the United States, it slowly became, I think around 1940s, it was turned into Veterans Day, which became a day to honor all veterans living and past in all previous wars. And in Canada, it's known as Remembrance Day, and it's a day that we remember all of the fallen soldiers in all of our previous wars. So in Canada and Commonwealth countries, it's more of like a solemn kind of day of remembrance. In the United States, I'm not too sure what you guys do down there. Maybe you guys can tell me. I know that you guys do have ceremonies and parades and stuff like that, but I know that in the United States, you guys are actually remembering both the fallen and living veterans still, so I'm not sure if that would make your ceremonies a little bit different. In Canada, it's a pretty big thing, like every city hall or town center, wherever it is that you're living, is going to be having like a huge ceremony. We'll have 2 minutes of silence at 11 o'clock on November 11th. There's a parade, and it's just a time to like reflect and everything. And of course, it is a day off for a majority of people, so it ends up being a day where a lot of people will get together with their friends or their family and go out for lunch or just hang out and enjoy a day off. But I know that for a lot of you who have actually served in the military, it's not just a day off. It's not just a day to kick back with your friends or to get more movie time in or something like that. It's a day that is actually very real to you, and you're remembering people that you might have served next to in the military, or someone maybe who's a close family member who you've lost. So I do want to let you all know that my thoughts and my prayers go out for you. And I do understand that the effects of war that a lot of you feel is something that a lot of people cannot relate to. I think that we could definitely do more to honor our veterans. And I think it's very important for the average person just to realize that the freedom that we have didn't come for free, and that it was actually sacrifice that a lot of people made for maybe their families. It was their mindset at the time, but a lot of the people who have fought and died in war, or who've just fought and survived or been crippled in war, like you guys sacrificed for people that you didn't even know, like your whole country. So our freedom is certainly not free, and I think that's a very important thing to remember. And I want to thank all of the veterans, both in the Commonwealth countries as well as in the United States, for their sacrifice and for their service and just for their bravery in general. Like, it's an amazing thing that someone can go and put their life on the line, and knowing in their mind that they might not ever come home and that they might not ever get to experience the freedom that they're fighting for. I think it's a very honorable thing. I think war is a terrible thing. I look forward to the day that the world is in peace and that we never have to go to war again. So with all that being said, guys, I did want to read a little poem that was actually written by a Canadian soldier, John McCrae, and he wrote this poem during the First World War after the loss of one of his very close comrades. So I'm going to try to do this poem justice when I read it, although I might not be the best at reading poetry all the time. So the title of the poem is In Flanders Fields. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from falling hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. And I can't help it, but every time I read that poem, it gives me goosebumps. And I think that's because it's written by a person who was actually experiencing war firsthand. And it's not just some outside perspective of someone's ideas of what war is. I don't think that that's something that any of us can understand unless you've actually been there. I don't think that we really understand it. And I honestly don't believe that there's enough honor shown to our war veterans. And I think that's very sad. You guys sacrificed your lives so that we could have freedom. And I think that that sacrifice is something that should be honored. And whether it is us continuing to fight for freedom in whatever way that may be, or just opening a door for a veteran. And so to those who've given it all, quite literally, thank you so much for everything that you've done, not only for me, but for your country. And I pray for God's blessing on your sacrifice. I pray for his peace in your life, whatever it is that you might struggle with because of the things that you've experienced in war. I pray that you would find comfort and peace in knowing that there is a God who does love you and that he doesn't overlook what you have sacrificed, and that there is honor in what you've done. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know what you guys have gone through, what you've experienced, or what you deal with today, but I want you to know that I appreciate everything that you have done for me, for my country, for my family, and just the fact that I'm able to live in freedom, that I can go to the grocery store, that I can vote, that I can go to church, that I can do all these things that all of us take for granted each and every day. I want you guys to know that your sacrifice means the world to me, and it should mean the world to anybody else who's living in that freedom. I hope that you guys got some enjoyment out of this video at least, and I hope that I will see you guys again in the next video. So like always, my lovely YouTube people, I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.